coming and being here for our presentation. This is our session called Off Script and On Target. I'm Nora Pixler.
I'm William Osborne.
And I'm Kaylee Schreck. Our goal is for you guys to be able to learn how to break the script and help others trip over the truth to promote relationship building and engage students more effectively. So for our warm-up, we passed out papers, and I'm going to walk you through a drawing, and you guys are going to draw it. So everyone can pick up your pencil. It doesn't matter how you guys have your papers, however you feel. Okay, so for the first thing, draw a squiggly line bottom left to the halfway point. Okay, you're going to draw a straight line right of the squiggly line. And then you're going to draw a circle in the top left corner. And then you're going to draw a V in the top right. And then on the straight line side, you're going to draw a circle with lines inside of it. So this is what we had in our heads, but I bet your guys' pictures didn't look like that. Some teachers and students have mixed opinions, which is okay. But since your drawing doesn't match our expectations, how would you feel if we gave you a bad grade on it? Or whose fault would it be that it doesn't look like ours? With these directions provided, it isn't realistic that you would have the same drawing as us. And when we are giving you this drawing, we're causing you guys to trip over the truth. What do you guys think tripping over the truth means by what you guys just did? You can talk amongst yourselves. Did anyone want to share? I'll take one person if you guys prefer.
Coach and I had a good conversation that everything you said was accurate as our instructors, but each of us needed maybe a little bit more information and maybe some feedback while we were doing it. So it was true, but we kind of tripped over because we need a little bit more personalized.
Okay. So the book, The Power of Moments, breaks it down into 3 components. The first thing is clear insight. So when the real problem clicks to you as the person. So you notice something's up with what's happening. The second thing is compressed in time. So the realization hits all at once. It's not a drawn out thing that takes months and months for you to figure out something's going on or to fix the problem. And the third thing is discovered by the audience itself. So no one's connecting the dots for you. You figure out the problem on your own and you do something about it. And then you're able to get new results from that.
I have a personal story of how someone caused me to trip over truth. In my junior year, I was taking tennis lessons at Court 1 in Sandusky with my coach Brad. And there was a couple weeks where I would go and hit with him for an hour, and I was just really struggling to get, my balls weren't going over the net, they weren't going in if they were going over the net, and it was really frustrating. And I was kind of I don't really know what's going on. I would go and get water, he's like, what are you doing, what's going on? I don't know, I'm trying really hard, but they're not going over, I don't really know what I'm doing. And he's like, okay, you know what, why don't you spin in a circle 3 times? And I kind of looked at him like he was crazy. I was like, I don't, that's weird, no. And he was like, just do it. So I did it. I spun in the circle 3 times and I was laughing at myself. He was like, okay, now let's go hit some more balls. And I was like, okay. And after I spun in my circle 3 times, all my shots were going over the net and they were going in. And so by having me spin in a circle 3 times, he caused me to trip over the truth that it wasn't a problem with my mechanics or anything like that. I was just having a mental struggle with being perfect and having to get the ball over the net. And so after doing the spinning in the circle, I would do it during tournaments. Then Grace and I, my doubles partner, we would do it during our doubles matches to get me to trip over the truth by realizing it's not a problem with what I'm doing, it's a problem with I'm putting too much pressure on myself.
The Power of Moments, which is a book we just finished in our Educators Rising class. It's by Chip and Dan Heath, and it has some great instructional things to get people to trip over the truth and, like the title says, create moments. So one of the stories within the book pertaining to tripping over the truth is pretty interesting, and you might see why we put it second. Some might call it a pretty crappy story. So there's this guy, we're going to call him Dan. Dan is part of a company that helps colonies down in Southeast Africa help with their hygiene problems. They are pooping everywhere, in the fields, in their houses, in the middle of their town. They first thought, well, they just might not have the facilities to do it. So they initially started just going down and building them these very, very nice toilets. And the people, they refused to use them because why would they use them? They're much nicer than their houses, so they had no use for them. This company started realizing that this approach wasn't working. They tried something new. They would send an employee down, and for about a week, he'd walk around their entire town until he gained a following, amassing, keep walking. until they made it to the town center. He gathered all the people around and drew a map of their town on the ground. He had a talk with the people. He said, "Take this yellow chalk and sprinkle it wherever you have pooped in the town." And eventually this entire map was covered in this yellow chalk of where they had pooped. But this wasn't enough to get them to realize how unsanitary their living conditions were. While walking around the town, he had noticed a problem with the flies landing on all of their food, but they would still keep eating it. So he plucked a hair out of his head, swirled it in some poop on the ground, pulled up a mason jar full of water, swirled his hair with the poop on it in the mason jar, and asked the villagers to drink it. What do you think their answer was? No, of course not. Who would be crazy enough to do that? But then he stated that all of these flies landing on your food, they have 6 of these tiny barbed hairs and are landing all over your food and placing your poop. And then they realized how entirely disgusting that was. So they tripped over the truth and eventually started using these new bathrooms.
Alright, so this is connected to the SEL standards in Ohio. And one of the standards we found was applying positive social skills. So when you have a problem that's usually negative, and so you're making it positive by doing it, and you usually have to talk to people around to fix the problem. And then you're exploring and approaching new situations with an open mind. So you can't trip over the truth if you didn't look at the problem. You wouldn't have seen it. So that's how you have an open mind.
So the next thing we're going to get into is breaking the script. Now the picture you see here is me and Nora on stage from our last production, and we will be in the next production soon, later in March here, and you might be able to see us breaking the script on stage in The Little Mermaid.
Alright. The book says breaking the script isn't just a surprise, it's a strategic surprise. So teachers and students often fall into an autopilot. They feel like they're doing the same thing every single day. And so I wanted to ask you guys, what's something you think a student would say that they do every day?
Take notes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So I'm gonna have you guys do a T-chart with me.
Okay, so on the paper in front of you with the T-chart, on the left side, can I see that? On the left side, we have the script with 3 different scenarios, and then on the right side, it's called the break. So we want you guys to write down one short way on how you can fix something or do something different about the standard script that's written on the left. It's okay if you don't have all of them filled out. Does anybody want to share one that they might have? Yeah.
I think you guys, Will and Haley for sure know. What did I do on Fridays? I don't wrap up. Dance. Yeah, we end our Fridays dancing.
I said for conflict resolution, rather than go into the hallways, have a safe place for the kids to go to do mediation with a facilitator present.
Social emotional learning is very important for breaking student scripts. Doing different things to connect emotionally with your students would change your everyday script and your students. And actually, not a lot of schools know about these SEL standards that Ohio has, and some teachers don't even know. So Will's going to tell you about how the SEL standards go a lot with breaking the script.
Yeah, so these were just a few of the SEL standards we looked upon and thought went well with our topic today. And the 3 that we chose were personal responsibility, evaluating personal and social responsibilities, and regulating emotions and behaviors in classrooms.
You might be wondering, why did we pick these 2? Well, not only were they kind of really interesting to learn about when we learned about them in class through our book, but they also tied really well together in creating different fun, meaningful moments for your students and other people. Tripping over truth creates insight for your moment, and then breaking the script causes elevation, so that way it's not just a regular, oh, okay, great, this is fun, but it makes it different. It makes it stand out compared to the other moments that you might have done in the past. And then we wanted to say thank you all for coming again to our session. There is a question on the bottom if you unfold the paper. Feel free to fill that out. Does anybody have any other questions?
Thanks.
Do you think the schedule allows us to break the script with prime time, with red time, with the flexibility of block days and 8-period days?
I think red time is really good. I like to read, and probably other people like to read, and I think that's a great way to break people's everyday scripts, so it doesn't feel like I'm doing class after class.